Good morning. It's another sunrise. The sun's starting to come up over the hills, and I'm outside collecting the proper light frequencies that are telling me it's time to get the day started. I really love the sunrise for many reasons. The physical benefits that it gives us are great, but the peacefulness of this time of morning is also a good time for reflection. It can be a really good time to think about how we want to live our day and who we want to be in our day. When we use this time for reflection and planning our day and trying to live more consciously and be aware of the way we're going to act for our day, it becomes a habitual practice and we can see real change in the way our days go. For example, I try and live my life leading from a place of being kind. I want to be good to other people and help people when I get the opportunities. And when I think about this every morning, it becomes a habit for me to be conscious throughout my day that I want to be a kind person. And then I start to get presented with more opportunities to practice this. So, whatever you might want to change about yourself, think about the way you want to live the rest of your day. If you do this every morning, you'll start to get more opportunities to be this way. If you want to help people out and you want to live your life that day from a place of love and helpfulness, you'll start to be given opportunities from the universe to practice that. You might see someone who's struggling to lift something, or someone on the side of the road with a broken down car, or someone might reach out to you that they need help doing something in their life. But you'll start to be able to practice who you want to be more often. So if you can take some time in the morning to really think about who you want to be and make an effort to not go through your day living unconsciously of your actions, you can start to see real changes. So the sunrise is really amazing for our physical health, and in that light, our mental and spiritual health as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hang out back here and keep getting the sun in my eyes. It's another really beautiful sunrise. I'll give you a look. I'm going to go ahead and start eating my breakfast, and I'll keep thinking about how I want to live my day today, how I want to act, who I want to be, things I want to accomplish, and little by little, every day, those things start happening and I get closer to my goals. So, having said that, it's time to eat and get the day started. All right. Well, I hope some of you try to start embracing more sunrises and using them as a time to make yourself better physically, mentally, and spiritually, and start to really live the life that you want to. All right. I know I started getting into my breakfast already, but I forgot to mention in the last clip what is for breakfast. It's 1 pound of raw, grass finished ground beef with some salt added into it. Wanted to let you guys know, for those of you who might be new and don't know, that this is what I eat for every meal basically. All right. All right, guys, it's time to get in some movement for the day. So I came out to the park. We're in the calisthenics section. We're going to do some pull-ups, some straight bar dips, and we'll do some parallel bar dips as well. I brought the weight belt out here and one of my cinder blocks. So we'll get some weighted pull-ups in, as well as our regular body weight pull-ups. All right, let's start off with a warm-up set of some pull-ups. All right, moving on, let's get in our first set of straight bar dips. All right, let's go ahead and get in another set of pull-ups. Moving on, let's get in a set on the parallel bars of some more dips. All right, so like I said, I brought the weight belt and a cinder block from home. So let's go ahead and get that on. Add some extra resistance to a set of pull-ups. Let's see how many reps we can get with the extra weight. I'm putting extra weight on the pull-ups to really up my strength. My goal is to be able to get muscle ups down, so I want to really have that explosive pulling strength. All right, back to the parallel bar for another set of dips. All right, let's get one more set of pull-ups with the weight on. Whew. Those are tough. All right, let's go ahead and get in one more set of dips on the parallel bars. Go till failure. That's it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get in one more set of pull-ups. I'm gonna go till failure and try and make these ones really explosive. That's all I got. All right, so for my last movement on the bars, I'm gonna do what you could call, I guess, an assisted muscle up. Like I said, my goal is to be able to get regular muscle ups down, but since I'm not quite there yet, I can stand on the ground at this bar, so I'll use my legs to help me jump off the ground in order to get the muscle up, and I'll just see how many of these I can do. This will probably be the last one I can get, so I'll rep out a few dips at the top. All right. All right, so that wraps up the bar portion of this movement session. I got some good reps in. I think I've made some good progress to the muscle up. Got a field of grass right behind us over here. So I'm gonna end this whole movement session with a couple barefoot sprints out in the grass. I've been barefoot the whole time I'm working out here too, so we're grounding, picking up those free electrons from the earth, getting that extra energy in. And we're also outside under the sun, getting all the proper light frequencies we need to get our body full of energy and ready to move and ready for the rest of the day. So let's do a couple sprints and have some fun. All right, here we go for the first sprint. All right, here we go for the second sprint. All right, well, that ends it for the sprint. So that's the end of our whole movement session at the park. It's nice getting out here, doing some grounding, moving around in the grass and getting some bar work in. It was a fun session. All right, catch you back at the house. All right, you guys, we're back at the house. We're in the backyard and it's just about noon. So that means the sun is right overhead and it's at its peak UV index for the day. This is the perfect time to do some sunbathing and get that vitamin D creation going, get that natural dopamine, that hit of serotonin, create all those nice endorphins, and just get a lot of sun on our skin. So I'm going to expose as much of my skin as possible to the direct sunlight for a while. But before I do that, I've worked up a little bit of a thirst with the movement that we just did. So I'm going to have some water. This is the natural spring water that I collect myself, filtered through the earth, so it's full of all the natural minerals I need. No added stuff to it, no fluoride. So much better than drinking tap water. If you can get some natural spring water yourself and go collect it, it's fun to go out and find the spring, and it's going to be the best water you can get for yourself. So check out findaspring.org to find any natural springs that are local in your area, and you can also go collect your own spring water. So I'm going to have some of this water, and then we're going to get in the sun and do a nice sunbathing session. So refreshing on a warm day like today. All right, let's get that good light. All right, my friends, it's time for the daily lift. So we're going to train like we normally do. We're going to do one set of whatever exercise we feel like doing, and we're going to go until failure or close to it. So let's get started. Going to do a set of squats. All right, felt pretty good. All right, let's move on to some overhead presses. Gonna take these to failure. let's move on to some bicep curls. Take these to failure as well. All right, moving on to what are going to be our last 2 sets for the lift. So we're going to start off with some bent over rows, and then after we hit failure with the bent over rows, I'm going to load up a couple more cinder blocks on top, and we'll go straight into deadlifts to failure. All right, let's get it. All right, we were able to keep the extra blocks balanced this time. So that concludes the lift. We're finished. Short and sweet as usual. My muscles feel good. Got the blood flowing. And I'm hungry. It's just about dinner time. So I'm gonna head inside of the kitchen, grab my meal, and I'll see you guys out in the front yard where we're gonna eat. All right, so we just took an ice cold shower after that lift, get a little cold therapy in right before dinner. Wanted to cool off a bit because it's still pretty hot outside. We're out in the front yard and dinner is served. This will come as no surprise to any of you, I'm sure by this point. Tonight on the menu, 1 pound of raw grass-finished ground beef. And because we're eating it raw, we keep all the water content of the meat intact for hydration straight from the source. We have all the water-soluble vitamins in the meat still because we haven't taken any out via the cooking process. We have the full fat content, 80-20 fat content ground beef, because we haven't rendered any of the fat out in the cooking process. So we get everything we need right from the meat. I'm gonna get into it. I'm super hungry. This is gonna be a good meal. I'm just gonna absolutely devour it. Alright, I'm going to stay out here, enjoy the view, chill with all the other wild animals out here, and finish up my last meal of the day. I hope whatever you guys have for dinner tonight is just as good for your health. The sun's setting behind the hills, and it's the last light of the day. As I take in the last bit of infrared into my eyes and on my skin, I'm starting to wind down for the day. I've talked a lot about the importance of getting all the proper light frequencies from the sun, but there's a part of the day that you don't see because I'm not filming after the sun goes down. That's because once the sun goes down, I try to minimize all artificial light in my life. So I'm staying off all blue lit screens, including my phone and any computer that I have. I only have a phone and a laptop, but I'm not on either past sunset. If I am, it's for a short amount of time after the sun goes down, and I'll always wear my blue blocker glasses. This time of year, the sun's setting pretty late, so I don't need to turn on artificial lights in my house because I'm going to bed pretty soon after the sun sets. But if I do need to use light, I'll have red lights lit so that I'm not getting a lot of blue light exposure, or I'll just use candlelight, which is what I do most often. But again, as I said, this time of year, it's almost time for bed by the time the sun sets, so I'm not really even using candlelight very often. But the sun is starting to set sooner and sooner each day as the summer comes to an end, so as I need more light in the evenings, I'll start to burn more candles. But as I said, ideally, when the sun goes down, we're not supposed to be getting any more light. If we're getting artificial light in our eyes after sunset, then it tricks our body into thinking that it's still light, that it's still daytime rather, and it throws off our circadian rhythm. We need the nighttime to sleep, to rest, to recover, and if our body thinks that it's daytime because we're giving it that signal via artificial light, then our body's not going to be able to do what it needs to do at nighttime. So now that the sun has passed the hills, I'm going to end the clip here and start to wind down for my evening. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I think it's something that you guys should also really try. Try to minimize the artificial light after sunset. Do your best. See how it makes you feel. I guarantee you'll get to sleep more easily if you're not using light after the sunset. So, give it a shot. Stay off the phone after the sun goes down if you can. Stay off the computer. Stay off the TV. If you have to, use blue blocking glasses. Keep lights to a minimum, and you'll feel a difference. Alright, this is where we end for the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Night.